The predictions and the scientific trends and the scientific projections are by 2100, we will be in a world with plus 7 degrees Fahrenheit global average climate increase. And to put that into context, when we were minus 7 degrees, much of North America was under several kilometers of ice. We are in the full throes of physical change in terms of the physics and the reality of what's happening, yet we are guiding our constructed lives as if the status quo is going forward. So we are seeing right now the clash of those two things unfolding. I, Robin Chase, with my life experiences, do not have the answers to climate change. I'm telling you categorically, I can't solve it. But what I can tell you is, if we want to do it in time, and if you've got a good idea, you have to put it on a platform. And if you're looking for good ideas, look at excess capacity, putting it on a platform, and making sure that you're letting as many people weigh in and participate as possible. The question is, how can we move as quickly as possible and change things as fast as possible? And it comes down to 4 principles about why we are moving from industrial capitalism to this new collaborative economy. And this is where the internet that connects people and assets, this is the place it was going to go. So, number 1, connected networked assets deliver more value than unconnected proprietary separate ones. And they deliver more value in 2 ways. 1, we use the asset more efficiently. And the second is that new value can be extracted out of it. So think of Zipcar, where people are using this asset much greater intensity than before because it's a shared networked asset. Or open data, where the government got the data for one reason and you think up what you might do with that to extract new value. Principle number 2, more connected minds are always smarter than fewer unconnected minds. So no matter how many smart people there are in this room, we know there are more smart people outside. If you want to be smarter, you're going to tap into the world of the world, not just keep things together. Number 3, the opportunities and benefits of open network systems are always much larger than the problems associated with open networked systems. So Wikipedia, yes, people do graffiti and trash pages. So what? We have the world's encyclopedia. We can address those specific problems and the opportunities are much bigger. And then lastly, as an individual, when I contribute to one of these systems, I necessarily get more than I give. So I have a very strong incentive to participate. So if we think of these things, assets are better shared, minds are better shared. Collectively, we stand to gain. Personally and individually, I stand to gain. If you're a company, you want to organize this way. If you're an individual, you want to participate this way. That your best incentive is to do that. And so that's why I think we will be moving there. But how we share those productivity gains and how we share the wealth that comes out of it and what things we choose to focus on, that is up for grabs. Are we going to focus on climate, or are we going to build Instagram? If we think of this platforms and people, the platforms are the things that do structure and simplify, and I think we need them. And so the question is, who finances that platform building? Because he who finances it makes the rules. I mean, the platforms are like mini governments. They've created a rule set, and everyone is abiding by those rules. The internet is a platform for participation that was financed by the government that has persisted despite a lot of outside big companies trying to capture it. But to date, that was a government-financed platform that has worked really well. We think of the private sector financing things, and there I have extreme anxiety. And we've seen the rise now of the B Corp, that their mission is not just shareholder value, but also environmental and human attributes. But we can't rely on fabulous founders who have good ideas, because as they go out to get more money, or as they get old and retire and die, those companies and their value system can change on a dime. So that is not comforting to me. And a third way is we can have people finance these platforms. A much more difficult way, because we as a people think we don't have a lot of money, and platforms take a lot of money to build. But I see inklings of people financing platforms that are succeeding. One of which would be the blockchain, which is a crazy thing that's totally decentralized, and the people who are building it. Individuals are incentivized to build that infrastructure. We see it with the Creative Commons. We see it with Kickstarter. The free and open source movement is another one where we've seen real movement of people financed and people created platforms. There's this heartbeat and a feeling really worldwide afoot that we're at the edge of a really big crisis. We need so many different kinds of minds and experiences to do the iteration, to do the clever thinking, to come up with the ideas, that there's not going to be 20 people in one room who are ever going to be able to solve this problem worldwide, period. We have to keep learning and listening and watching to see what resonates and to build these platforms so that people can realize that it is a critical mass of people who are ready to move.